Don't get me wrong, I love watching Jackson Dart play, and obviously the Giants are not going to have Cam Scatterboo anymore, but I'm more invested in this season than I was in 2023 or 2024. Those seasons were literally just a blur. I couldn't even remember half of what went on in those seasons because I don't really care. In 2024, I was at the point of wanting to lose as much games as we can. This year is different. Although the Giants are still not good, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo, the rookies, the young players, these guys have been a joy to watch, and I'm loving seeing this team develop. But this team, this New York Giants football team in 2025 is asking their rookie quarterback to take them to the next level, to drag them to the finish line, to drag them to success. And I'm sorry, he's not enough. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. Before we start, as always, make sure you guys hit that like button and hype the video. You guys have been doing such a good job with hyping the video. Again, helps smaller content creators like me. Again, I really don't know what exactly it does, but it's another way to push our video through the algorithm and expand the 27 Squad. So make sure you guys hype the video. If anything, like, dislike the video, I don't care. Just make sure you hype the video. If you're on mobile, you can go to the comment section, slide over. It should give you an option to hype the video. Go ahead and hit that hype button. And also, to make sure you check out the best sports app in the world, that is Sleeper. Like I said, the Giants haven't been taking care of us, but I know Sleeper has been taking care of this channel and you guys as well. Make sure you guys take advantage of this offer. 100% match up to $100 on your deposit as when you put in the promo code 27 Squad, as well as a free $20 entry as well. No deposits needed. You don't even need to put in a deposit to get to $20, but might as well combo those two up and put up the best pick slip of your lifetime. Again, thank you guys so much for the support on your channel. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Let's get on to the video. Now, I said Jackson Dart wasn't enough. This is not about Jackson Dart. I love what Jackson Dart is doing. I think he's playing excellent football. He is like, there's some stat that I read that he is the only quarterback in the Super Bowl era that's had, I think, over 8 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, and under 5 turnovers in his first 5 starts or something like that, which is awesome. That is awesome to see. Jackson Dart is on another level. You can see it. Everybody sees it, even non-Giants fans. He has that it factor. Nobody can really define what it is, but he has the it factor. I truly believe now, it's crazy to say that after 5 games I believe this because it took me 4 years to try to distinguish what we have in Daniel Jones, but I truly believe Jackson Dart is the guy. I think he's the guy and we need to build around him, and I think he can take us to the next level. However, this team is no way, shape, or form. They do not have business winning games, but Jackson Dart constantly gives them a chance over and over again. And I really want to bring your attention to a video I saw from, shout out Justin Penik of Talkin Giants, friend of the show. Check out this video, and I'll leave the link in the description as well. Got to give credit to my guy.
Losing is a disease. It doesn't matter what the regime, it doesn't matter who the GM is, it doesn't matter who the coach is. Losing has just seemingly become a disease that this franchise just can't find the right antibiotic for. It infects everybody that comes here, and I don't know what the solution is. And finally, we found somebody that didn't just have like a good little stretch. Who he is off the field matches the type of performance that he was giving on the field, that being Jackson Dart. And I am just hoping and praying that losing Cam Scatterboo and your right-hand guy and that effort to scrape this franchise off the ground like gum on the bottom of New York's shoe, to try and scrape this franchise off the ground. I'm hoping that that guy isn't lost, because now Jackson Dart is surrounded by people that have been infected by losing.
I loved what he said here. This team has a disease, an infection of losing, and it spreads to everybody who joins the team, that puts on that NY, puts on that blue helmet. They just get infected by the losing culture. As much as we don't want to admit it, ladies and gentlemen, the Giants have been part of a losing culture for so long. We may have good coaches that come here. We may have good players that come here. They just don't work. We have to break that mold of a losing culture, and that just happens sometimes by putting the right pieces in place and constantly adding, constantly putting forth new addition, subtraction, and addition, constantly rotating these guys and getting guys that work instead of just waiting to see what happens with Deonte Banks, waiting to see what happens with Evan Neal, waiting to see what happens with all these other players. Like Tyler Nubin is going to be another one coming up. I know he's probably going to live out his contract here, but he doesn't deserve to. Constantly giving these guys that aren't good a chance to play their entire rookie contract and just embrace the suck for the sake of trying to develop a player. I really love what Justin said here because Jackson Dart has a lot of weight on his shoulders. He is asked now as a rookie to carry a franchise that has been the bottom of the barrel of the NFL for over 10 years now and carry this franchise to save jobs, to save players' contracts, to save a franchise, really, in a year, in a very short amount of time. But the Giants aren't doing anything for him. Now, I know a lot of people like to give credit to Joe Schoen with how he drafted these rookies, right? Jackson Dart, Cam Scatteraboo, Marcus Bowe later on. I mean, the list goes on and on. Darius Alexander starting to come on a little bit. Like, we drafted some great guys, and we brought in some key free agent additions like Jermaine Illuminor. We traded for Brian Burns. Bobby Okereke seems to be a good pickup. Like we've done a lot, right? We've done a bit. But when it comes, my biggest problem with Joe Schoen, you guys can talk about his free agency. You guys can talk about his drafting. My biggest problem with Joe Schoen is what he does during the season. It just seems like he closes up shop in the middle of the season where he doesn't have to do anything. We have Younghoe Koo right now on the practice squad. We have Graham Gano back, but we had Younghoe Koo for like 2 weeks. You don't need a playbook to learn as a kicker. I don't know about you guys. I mean, Baker Mayfield can join a Rams team as a quarterback and win a game. We can't put Younghoe Koo in to go attempt some field goals over Jude McAtomney, And then so we have Ray McLeod as well, who I like. I like Ray McLeod. He was most recently with the Atlanta Falcons and was a pretty damn good slot receiver for them, and really reminds me of that receiver we had back in 2022. I cannot remember his name. He had joined the Chiefs after he left us, and I can't for the life of me remember his name. I'll come up with it soon. But it reminds me of that player, and we're not using him. He's not on the team, and constantly, Jackson Dart is asked to win these games, guys. This is now the third week in a row. Jackson Dart is asked to win these games with Daniel Bellinger and Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson can't catch the ball. Daniel Bellinger, they never put on the field. Wan'Dale Robinson is 5'8". Lil Jordan Humphrey is a practice squad player, and Jalen Hyatt has 3 catches on the season. It's ridiculous. And Darius Slayton I don't know what's going on with Darius Slayton. He's not as consistent as he was in like the past 2 years or so. Darius Slayton's just not good right now. Even though he had that touchdown wiped away from him, that's unfortunate. But the Giants, there's still something missing, and that is changing the roster, adding to the roster during the season. We don't do anything with wide receivers. We're not trading for a wide receiver. Some people are against it. I know the Giants aren't going to do anything this year, but I really want someone for Jackson Dart to throw to. I want him to have good talent to throw to, and we'll see what we have in 2026 with that added player, plus Malik Neighbors, plus Cam Scatteraboo coming back. But we're wearing thin as far as weapons for Jackson Dart goes. And it's hard for even play callers like Mike Kafka, Brian Dable to come up with these situations and game plans for little Jordan Humphrey and Jalen Hyatt. Like, it's hard to do that. And Jackson Dart is willing them down the field. I mean, he's still scoring touchdowns, which amazes me. But what happens when that magic runs out? What happens when it starts getting stale and they start figuring it out and saying, hey, They're not even targeting these receivers. They're targeting the tight ends. Let's get more linebackers out there, cover the tight ends, and we'll be fine. And Jackson Dart has to run it himself without Cam Scatterbo. You know, there's still something missing. Shane Bowen. The experiment is done. We have to stop talking about this. Is Shane Bowen good? Is he bad? He's not a good defensive coordinator. He doesn't have a good scheme, especially for the defensive personnel that the Giants have. It's just not good enough. We are made to be an attacking 3-4 defense that blitzes heavy, and like Wink Martindale did, and disguises their looks. Because we have so many athletic players like Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, right? Bobby, we have Micah McFadden. Like, these guys can line up in so many different spots. Drew Phillips can blitz. Drew Phillips can blitz pretty well from the slot. We have so many good athletes on defense that you can mix and match. Brian Burns can play coverage. Abdul Carter can play linebacker. Like, you can do so much with these guys, and you're not disguising looks. You're not getting creative with blitzes. And it's really being a detriment to this team. Just straight up 4-man rushes. Go beat your man. No disguised safety looks where you're showing a single high and you move to a 2-high shell. None of that. We're playing basic defense. So I talked about the offense. Now I want to talk about the defense. The defense is just, it's not bad. The thing is, the players aren't bad. Despite the secondary being absolutely depleted right now. Like, we're at a point right now where we have Deonte Banks and Corey Black as our starting corners right now. But that's just not an excuse, guys. I seen the Detroit Lions 2 weeks ago put out guys that they literally picked up off the street on the practice squad. They had no starters in the secondary, and they whooped the Buccaneers' ass with that secondary. 9 points altogether from that Buccaneers offense because they schemed it well. Kelvin Shepard, the defensive coordinator, Giants legend, schemed it well. Shane Bowen does not put his players in best positions to succeed. He puts his players in positions that he wants them to be in, not where they should be in. That's the issue. And it's adding to that infection of losing where we're just like, hey, let's just try this out. Let's just keep on going. We're 2-6, but let's keep on doing what we're doing because eventually we'll win a game. That's a recipe for disaster. We're 2-6. That means we're around the halfway point of the season. That means we're projected to be around 4-13 this season. It's not working. And constantly asking your quarterback, listen, that Philadelphia Eagles game was very indicative of how much Jackson Dart really means to this franchise. You saw Russell Wilson go out there. You saw him constantly get booed. You saw him throw the football to the ground. You saw Brian Daboll and Cam Scatterbo get into that tent that eventually got them fined. They don't know what they're doing without Jackson Dart. You should never have your team in that position. Never. I know the quarterback is always the biggest elevator of a team, but you should be able to go out there and be competitive without him. And I'm not saying, take Jackson Dart out. I'm not saying what if Jackson Dart gets hurt. I'm not saying that. Well, that is a thing. What if Jackson Dart gets hurt? Then you're really in a pickle. My thing is, even when Jackson Dart is out there, you shouldn't have to rely on him 24/7 to get the job done. Look what the Eagles are doing. Look who we just played in the Eagles. Yeah, Jalen Hurts had 3 touchdown passes, 4 touchdown passes, whatever. But look who he had around him. He had no A.J. Brown. But no A.J. Brown, no problem. Because you know what? He has another wide receiver, one in Devontae Smith. Then he has a top tight end like Dallas Goedert. Then he has the best running back in the NFL in Saquon Barkley. Then he has one of the best offensive line in football. Jalen Hurts is still a good quarterback. But you're not asking him to drag the entire team to the finish line. That's the Giants' mistake. They're trying to win despite having a terrible roster because they have Jackson Dart. That's the problem. And that's what's making a losing franchise, because that's exactly what they try to do with Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones was not able to get it done. We cannot do the same thing with the Giants. We cannot do the same thing with Jackson Dart. Because Jackson Dart is going to end up looking like Daniel Jones, and when Jackson Dart leaves, he's going to have all that experience that he had and go to a team and thrive. exactly what happened with Daniel Jones. Because Daniel Jones, make no mistake about it, he's playing at an MVP caliber level. I never thought I would say that in my life. He has pieces around him. He has a good game plan. Shane Steichen, really good play caller. The Giants are there right now. Coaching, guys, forget about the players. Coaching and the GM work, roster management, coaching and roster management has been the biggest Achilles heel of this team for years. And Joe Shane and Brian Dable are not fixing it. They're not helping the situation. So that's all I got for you guys today. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'll see you guys next time.